My 30F mom, 52F, won't stop threatening me with the police to make me talk to her. She was severely toxic and abusive my whole childhood. At one point I told her I wanted to kill myself, long past that, don't worry. And she just looked at me and said, I know. I guess it got better after I moved across the country from her. It almost felt like she could actually be my mom for once, because the toxic bullshit mostly stopped. But a few years ago, I went a whole week without responding to her right after I literally fell down a cliffside behind my house and was kind of impaled on a branch. While I was in the hospital and didn't even have the chance to respond, she called the fucking police to my house. Whatever the fuck she said was so alarming they literally broke in and gave my mother-in-law a heart attack. An actual one. She was hospitalized for 3 weeks. Now she's threatening it again. I was diagnosed with cancer 2 years ago, and once I was finally comfortable telling her, which took a while with the circumstances, she posted it all over social media, something I specifically told her I didn't want. I had complete strangers messaging me about it, as well as friends I had been abandoned by and hadn't talked to in years. It really hurt that it took that for them to talk to me, and felt quite shallow. Even worse, not a single member of my actual family had anything to say. Not one. I hope you get better. I can't tell you how that broke me. I didn't really want a confrontation with my mom, though. I was going through hell with chemo, and it just wasn't worth it. So maybe it's my fault for not bringing it up. But I have also communicated with her way less, even when she messages me. Now, without having tried to contact me even once in weeks, she's threatening another wellness check. They broke into my house last time. They literally gave my mother-in-law a heart attack. To say nothing of the emotional distress it caused me. How can I stop this? Is there even anything I can do? I really thought I felt pretty neutral at this point, but this has made me realize I hate her more than anything. Contact the local police proactively and let them know she's using the threat of wellness checks as a way to threaten you. Also consider asking for a restraining order. Look into the gray rock method of dealing with abusers. In short, you want to be as boring as a plain gray rock to get her to get bored of you. Alternatively, consider just going completely no contact. By still talking with her some, you're keeping alive her hope that she can control you again. Meanwhile, check out our /Raised by Narcissists for more advice. You need to go up to your local PD and tell them that she's calling in false reports and wasting resources. The previous commenter was correct. Go talk to the police about this. Get a lawyer and inform your local police about your mother's plans to use them as a threat. Contact the police and tell them you are being threatened with a fake call to them. Preempt her ability to sick them on you. That's how you stop it. And stop telling your mother anything. You know who and what she is. Never confide in her again. Go no contact with her. She's toxic. But family is a stupid reason to tolerate bullying or abuse. Oh, and also tell the police that you have gone no contact because she files false reports on you. Just tell her if she calls the police on you again, you will never talk to her again, and follow through. Worst that happen is she calls the police to your house, which sounds like she's doing anyway. After they come once or twice, and you explain the problem to them, they should stop. Family, 28F, 50F. Randomly started insisting my 30F, memories are false leading to breakdown. I don't even know where to begin with this. My family and I lived an extremely traumatic upbringing together. The way that trauma played out was different for each of us. I was the only one who really felt like I was able to look forward and move on with my life without becoming an addict at any point. Despite their struggles, my mother and sister used to be my heroes because of their perseverance through the darkness. My mom rebuilt herself after an extremely difficult failed immigration and near homelessness. She started her career that she put on hold for my entire life once I grew up. I got myself a career and stable life such as I've never experienced before as a child. My sister witnessed my mom in some drug withdrawals where she became suicidal after I had moved to the US for better work opportunities. She proceeded to become an addict herself for many years. Things were rough back home. I was finding out bits and pieces of what was going on, but I didn't know what I could do. I was an intern at a company, but had previously struggled to ever land my first role. My family was always broke and struggling, and I knew I could take care of us all if I actually broke free from the cycle of poverty. So I stayed and worked on my career. COVID hit soon after, and traveling home became unfeasible. They've both been recovered now, and my sister has 2 amazing daughters. I've been visiting them regularly now, and come bearing gifts and buy them food, and help take out the trash and other chores at their place. This last trip broke me though, and I'm still sitting here wondering what the fuck just happened. Last trip, my sister randomly started saying my whole nut allergy story never happened because she doesn't remember it. I was dumbfounded last time too, but the conversation was fast. Her boyfriend said he didn't think someone would make that up. We moved on. This trip she randomly brought that up again and exclaimed, "Your walnut allergy never happened. Mom and I were discussing why you invent stories, and we just can't figure it out." I responded, "You realize I've avoided walnuts my whole life due to my allergy? Who would do that?" When I was a kid, my mom told me I had suffered anaphylaxis from the second raw walnut I ever ate and was rushed to the hospital. Due to that, I was terrified of eating one ever again. When I was older, like high school, we never even had walnuts at home. I saw that only after I moved out did I start seeing walnuts in the pantry when I visited. She was saying it in a mocking way and adding, "I mean, I remember you were such a baby and kept asking if there were nuts in the banana bread I baked. You said your mouth itches, and I told you to get over it." That in and of its own was starting to feel hurtful, like she was acknowledging that she knew of my allergy, but didn't care and just wanted me to get over it. I was starting to feel both gaslit, and the waves of childhood neglect were suddenly resurfacing that I'd honestly forgotten. My mom walked in at this point, and they both started saying, "Yeah, other stories of yours are made up too. Like the one where you got lost at Disneyland. There's no way I wouldn't remember such a drama. Mind you, I am certain my Disney memory could be off since I was told it as a child. I'm just hanging on to this memory as one I've known forever. It's one of the staple stories I was told about myself as a toddler, but they weren't open to thinking about if something similar happened. They were both standing over me and saying that neither story happened flat out. They can't remember, therefore it can't have. Sister is younger, so she wouldn't have been alive for the allergy story. They were continuing to come at me with this though, and basically still accusing me of inventing outright false memories. I broke at a certain point, and am embarrassed that I broke out in tears. I've never responded in such a way as an adult talking to other adults, but at this point I was pushed to my brink, feeling like my two closest family members were mocking me for getting upset at basically rocking my whole world perception and showing such lack of empathy over it. I wouldn't have minded if we could all actually talk it over and see where the true memories lie, but they were not relenting, just telling me my memories were false. My mom followed me to the hall and said we have to stop and agree to disagree. I was too pained to do, so they wanted me to basically accept what they were saying, but all I wanted was someone to show some empathy and understanding for where I was coming from. How can someone just say my lifelong allergies are a made-up story? How can my mom forget? I tried to re-enter the living room, and all I wanted at this point was a chance to share my piece, but they wanted me to drop it. My sister began yelling and swearing that I need to put my big girl pants on and SDFU. I couldn't keep myself from crying at this point and left. My mom followed me and said she doesn't want me to leave on this note, but was basically telling me I have to drop it. I literally just wanted the chance to speak for like 30 seconds, but two people were yelling at me to shove it and shut the fuck up. They insisted I only want to be right, but at that point it mattered more that I felt like they actually cared about where I was coming from. I left the dinner I'd bought their whole household and walked outside. My mom said we can talk in the morning when everyone is calmer. I returned to my hotel, but in the morning, they said they are tired and won't see me. The next night I flew home already and apologized for my part in the end of the evening, but expressed that I was still feeling really hurt. Their responses hurt more than anything any time they have told me I hurt one of them, which tends to happen a lot. I immediately apologized and tried to see their point of view. And yet now I did this for the first time ever with them, and said I felt incredibly dismissed and invalidated when they told me my stories were just entirely invented. Their responses to my text were so callous, like I've never seen before. They both said I was making drama, hounding them, I was feeling ganged up on and cornered myself, and that it didn't happen. I did not yell or raise my voice, I was literally crying while they yelled and swore at me. My mom said my sister was only de-escalating, she started with the mocking and the swearing, and that I need to stop playing victim and get over my childhood trauma like they have. WTF? Especially considering that she is the root cause of a lot of it. My sister texted saying it's not normal to react this way, and no person reacts this way. I'm devastated at this point. How do I move forward from this? I feel like I'm going insane here, like I was accosted, and yet made to feel like I was doing the accosting. And the memories do mean a lot after being away from home from so long. My mom and sister had so much time to talk about our past, so they know so much that I don't. I am already always feeling so left out, but now they are telling me what little I do remember didn't happen. Not to mention who on earth would invent an allergy that has caused significant other much fear and inconvenience throughout their life? I'm broken and distraught. What would you do? Did I indeed overreact, or would I be justified in cutting them off? There's no reason to talk to these people anymore. They want you to move on. Do that. Move on. You should also get allergy tested. You need to know if you have other things you need to avoid. Memory is fallible. That said, if the two people who have completely different memories than you do of an event also have a history of drug abuse, I'd say there is a fair chance that their memories are likely to be incorrect. Substance abuse, even when in the past, can really do a number on one's ability to correctly recall events. Is it possible that they are envious of your success and resent your generosity? Memories are weird, and people will always remember things differently, so they may actually believe what they're saying. However, that doesn't mean the way they handled it was all right. Luckily, you live far away from them and can make the decision on if you keep in contact in your own time without having to put too much work into avoiding them. I would get an allergy test to see if you need to be worried about any nuts, though. Sometimes people grow out of allergies. You don't have to keep in touch with them if all it's doing is bringing you pain. And as far as memory stuff goes, it's likely that your mom doesn't remember you getting lost at Disney, either because it was just another day in her life, or because the rest of the trip blurred everything together. And as far as the walnut allergy, it's pretty obvious they're just trying to make you feel bad for a legitimate concern. Your own family openly acknowledges that you said it made your mouth itchy, and instead of actually taking you and potential allergies seriously, they mocked you for it. It sucks to have shit family, especially when they're the type to gaslight or otherwise try to manipulate things like that. And I'm really sorry you've had to deal with all this. I'm confused. The two examples you gave, you said yourself you were too young to remember, and the stories had been told to you over time. The hive's reaction your mom witnessed, and you admitting you were too young to remember Disney. That means if the stories were wrong, they told you wrong. What are they accusing you of again? Believing the lies they told you as a child. Significant other, if anybody's memory in that group is reliable, it would be the one that never did hard drugs. You. How do I F29 handle my boyfriend, M26, ruining my birthday? To Dr. The day before my birthday, my boyfriend thought I was cheating on him and didn't buy me a gift. The day of my birthday we got in an argument, and he guilted me in to dinner the following day. Then during the dinner we argued about my budget, and he still hasn't gotten me a card, what I really wanted because I am sentimental AF. Long version. I hate my birthday just as a general rule. It always falls during a rough time because everyone is either going or coming back from fall break, and when in school if that wasn't the case midterms were also a thing. So I just rarely celebrate it. Enter my boyfriend, who in the first year made it his mission to change that. His family threw me a party, and I never have felt more celebrated than when I was a little child. It was amazing, and they set the bar high for what birthdays should be. The filling birthday, he straight up forgot about it though. Like no card, no gift, not even ordering takeout, and he just said happy birthday to me, and that was it. I was heartbroken. We had just moved cities, and I was feeling more alone than I probably should have. He vowed to never do that again because he saw my hurt. This year we another horrid birthday, in my opinion. In September he told me that he was ordering my gift, and he wanted to make sure I had a great birthday. Because if this I allowed my expectations to be set, and to have a little hope. Turns out that he didn't order my gift, because he was worried it wouldn't come in time. So the night before he runs out to the store. But he recently had surgery and tripped over a bench, and came home in pain. I was even thinking about my gift at that point. I just hoped he didn't undo what was done during his surgery. That's when he breaks down crying, saying that he thought I was cheating on him, and that's why he tripped. I was speechless and still am when I think about it. So I pushed it down and told him that we will spend my birthday relaxing instead, so he can heal from tripping. He wants to do dinner, but I couldn't handle having him be in pain and having to hear about. Or even worse, there's been times that we try to go out, but if the chair isn't right, he doesn't get the comfier spot, he will end the date early because he's in so much pain. So that's why I said no to the dinner on my birthday. But he guilted me into going the following day. So we did. And he proceeded to talk about my budget and offer his unsolicited opinions about it. I told him many times that I am happy with my budget, That is it getting me through the periods where I don't have income coming in and still allowing Ento go for coffee or participate in my hobbies. He thinks I should just take the 5 years and do nothing and pay down my student debt. I keep telling him I have found a balance that allows me to pay it down faster than average, but still lets me live a tiny bit. Regardless, throughout all of this, he didn't get me a gift. Or a card, which is really what I want. I think cards are the sweetest, especially when they write a little note. But nothing. And now I just feel like poop about it, because he did take me to a nice restaurant, but it still feels like it was a horrible birthday. Maybe I'm reading into it too much though. Answer: you move on from him. If your boyfriend can't bring joy in your life, he shouldn't be in it. You have much bigger problems than he forgot my birthday. He thought I was cheating on him, and that's why he tripped. Wow. That is the reachiest reach of diversion tactic that I've ever read. Wow. He tripped because he thinks you are cheating. Then he picked a fight, mad you feel bad, ruined what little birthday happy that might have occurred. And he did it intentionally, purposefully. Please think about that. Just know, OP. This dude is just not worth it. Not worth any of his bull. You dump him. His repeated neglect on your birthdays is unforgivable at this point. Once. Maybe. Anything more than that is allowing him to overlook celebrating you in any way. He couldn't spend $2 on a card and write a thoughtful note, buy you a $2 wedge of cake, and a balloon at least, and maybe even cook you dinner if he's broke? He doesn't care. Stop forcing things with someone who doesn't care about you in the least. So sorry you're going through this hurtful situation. End it so you never experience this again. There was no need for the long version. Your boyfriend is an insecure, immature, and toxic little boy. He orchestrated this on purpose. He does not want to buy you anything you want because he enjoys the attention and you're suffering for him. You need to date someone who is not a complete dramatic mess and who is actually compatible with you. This dude is not. I tripped because I thought you were cheating on me. That's a new one. He sounds spoiled and sheltered. Your relationship sounds like you're together just because you have been together for a few years. I think you guys gotta talk about his insecurities and your future plans together a bit more. My 28F boyfriend, 34M, just told me after 6 years that he never wants kids. The title says it all. After trying to figure out why intimacy has all but completely disappeared from our relationship, he finally said it. We've been together 6.5 years and moved in together in 2020. We've been talking about getting engaged, but I could feel he's been progressively getting more and more distant and recently all but avoids the topic completely. In the beginning, we talked about kids and our future all the time. We daydreamed about where we'd raise our kids and what values we'd like to instill in them. What things we learned from our parents that we were not going to bring into our children's future. I'm not really sure when that stopped. He was so upset that I, in his words, am pressuring him to have this conversation, and maybe I did. Once he said it out loud, it was like my heart and my brain were turned off. I was so stunned. I'm so heartbroken. Everyone keeps saying how lucky I am that kids are not involved, but I can't help but feel like my entire world is falling through my fingers. I don't have a lot of family, and it would truly devastate me in so many different ways if this were the end. I don't think there's any compromise, is there? Any hope of resolving this without having to choose between him and my future kids? You do have to choose between him and your future kids. You can't compromise on children. I don't think your boyfriend ever planned to have children with you. Seems like he told you what you wanted to hear until he realized there was no getting out of it. It's time to move on from this relationship and find someone else who wants to have kids with you once you've mourned this relationship. Leave. People's goals change. That's allowed. Luckily, you're only 28 and have plenty of time to find someone new who is more aligned with your goals. Hi, really sorry you're going through that. I don't think you were off base pressuring him to have that conversation, for the record. It's pretty bullshit he acted annoyed by you asking to talk like an adult. Being on the same page about having kids is one of the most critical points that you really should align with your partner on at this stage of your relationship if you want to have a life with them. It's not a crime that his priorities changed. That does happen. But if this is something that is important to you, then you need to figure out your next steps. You shouldn't bank on him changing his mind again and invest more time into a relationship that isn't likely to get you where you want to go in your life. I'm so sorry you're going through a huge loss. Loss of a future you once envisioned with him. Unfortunately, this is the end. You want different things out of life now. Your feelings are valid, It's not going to be easy, but you have to end it. Don't force it. Don't let him say, maybe in a few years. There's someone out there for you. You deserve to be with someone who shares your life goals, and he should be with someone who shares his. I'm sorry he didn't come to this realization sooner. Stay strong. No compromise in this case. Prepare to end things. Get your stuff ready to separate.